What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Black Blade Uchiha coming to you with another video on this game, Black Deck. And I had a couple different things that I was thinking about for today's video. But I'll save one of the topics for next week. But today, we're just talk about Arena. I haven't done that in a while. Alright, so for those who don't know, Arena is your PvP portion of the game where you and other people around the world get to create decks that other people can compete against. And in that fashion, you can compete for the number one spot in whatever bracket that you're in, whether you're in silver, bronze, gold, or crystal. Doesn't matter, you get to compete in some capacity. But to be considered the best of the best, you got to compete in crystal and try to reach at least the top 100 in crystal. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, right? And that's part of the journey, enjoying the journey. So what's something that I do is when I first log in, right, or I go into Arena, just let you load up. There's this button right here that you can click in order to go to, just to see who's topping, right? Or who's in the top 100. So you come over here. This is a new shake up to things. I've been telling people goblins are legit. This card, who I've been saying is kind of has been doing some work for a lot of folks. I'm not going to even lie. They've been doing a lot of work. So let me explain what's going on here as best as I can. All right. So you see this individual has 6 goblin bombers, right? 6 of them. And he has 2 goblin exterminators. Both cards hit on their own 4 cards maximum. With an extra strike set, it can be 5 cards at a time. Now, every time a goblin bomber dies, they also inflict damage. Okay? So you got 6 of them here, 25% damage from the goblin bombers. And then you have contend with the goblin exterminators, who also hit very, very hard. Right? So you got to compete with the goblin exterminators, and then you got to compete with the whole litany of goblin bombers. Right? So the bombs are like the secondary win condition. If you remember from the other days, was it yesterday's video? No, 2 days ago. Videos 2 days ago, Monday's video. About bombing and overpower. Or beat down. Beat down, overpower, same thing. This is a combination of the two. Bombing and beat down. Okay? This is why I say that. Ormorg Halfjaw is he's the only hero that you want to use when you're using goblins. You don't want to use any other hero because he gives goblins 3 different buffs. 2 different buffs. And it gives itself a buff every time a goblin dies. So it's ridiculous. 2 different buffs on top, and they're big buffs. They're not small either. They're not small at all. So you have a maxed out goblin hat or more Halfjaw, and you have everybody else maxed out. It isn't a bad time for everybody. Okay. But again, this is part of the two pieces of what I mentioned. And you can, yes, combine different strategies into one deck, but you have to be mindful of what you're doing. Just like you can take goblins, get a bunch of the poison uncommon goblins, or put some of the stronger goblins with poison stuff on it, or poison artifacts on it, and do the exact same thing. Right? You give them damage over time, and you get to beat down on them. So you get to do both at the same time. Right? Next, this is where the bomb portion I ain't gonna say originated from. The original bomb portion was just a bunch of slimes. Okay. That's where it originally came from. And then Shit Done Lord of Flies came out of nowhere and said, let's make this worse. Right? So you remember in the previous video I talked about how he does how other allies deal damage to all enemies by 35% of their max strength when they die. That's this card's skill maxed out. Minimum is 10% unmaxed out, right? So you combine that and then you add a slime to that, or 7 of them, right? You add a Rat King to that. Rat King is going to summon more rats, right? That's extra bombs going off. There's extra bombs happening every time, a card dies or something like that. The only way to get rid of Rat King is kill it quick, right? Kill it real quick, transform it. You need to get rid of it. You have to get rid of their ability to, put a whole bunch of cards that's going to bomb you to death, essentially, right? That's what you would have to do in order to get rid of that. All right, so those are the top 2 decks so far. Let's keep going. Another top 3 deck. I've ran into this one. Oh my goodness, this is horrible. This is a horrible time for. That was a horrible time. I lost to this one. Candidly, this was not an easy fight whatsoever. I thought it would be easy, but it was far from it. Essentially doing some of the same stuff as the previous one. You're using the bombs, but now you're using an overpower strategy in order to, beat your opponent. So you got 2 win conditions in the same deck. It's just nuts. Again, more of the same. Slimes, you got Shit Done Lord of Flies. This time you have Banshee with debuffs to make, so it still falls under that overpower portion or strategy. This one is just stupid. This is more of a stall one with dragons. You're using a bunch of copies of Golden Dragon along with Howling Star as your hero, and you're just stalling. You're not necessarily, you can overpower with this deck. You really can. It does fall into that category of overpower, but the main win condition is stalling. So the longer you stall out for, the more cards you can keep on board, the more likelihood of you winning. This strategy is also really good in Guild Boss, right? You go to Guild Boss. This stall strategy is perfect for something like that. And you're just dealing damage. You lap the Guild Boss when it starts doing that every turn crap. Eventually it will dwindle you completely away, but it does take a lot longer for that to happen. So this is another good strategy. That's a very, very strong strategy. This one just shuts you down completely, transforms you, debuffs you, and bombs you. This is another version of overpower and bombing, but at the same time is transforming you. There's multiple layers to this strategy that does commit to being a winning strategy, right? So if you scroll through down, you will see a lot of times you'll see more of the same decks over and over again, and then you can just compile to see what you want to do for yours for Arena, or do you want to take that strategy over here to, like I said, Guild Boss. You come over here to Guild Boss, see what strategies work out best for you, and see what works. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video right here. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below. What do you think of Arena? Where are you placed in Arena? Are you in silver? Are you in gold? Are you in bronze? Are you in crystal? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when new content drops. Holla back at your boy. Peace.